Hi guys. So I figured I would come on and just show you guys kind of like the hairstyle that I just posted on my page. It's one of the hairstyles that I taught yesterday at the Bombshell Extensions class during the style portion. So we'll do something similar, not quite exactly the same. Right now, my lovely Katie is wearing Bombshell tape-ins. And yeah, so let's get started. So she has, I sprayed a little bit of the Kenra, like the dry volume burst in her hair. Yeah, you can just keep it on your lap and I'll grab them. And now I'm just gonna do like a Topsy Tail situation first, which obviously we all know that I love Topsy Tails. So we'll stretch this out, keep it really loose. And then I will split this open. And it's okay if this part looks a little like messy. You'll kind of like work with it and fix it so that it sits pretty and doesn't look all like gappy right through here. Zoe,
shut up.
And then you'll hear the dog barking because we're at my house. Okay, tilt back just a little, perfect. Okay, so there's our first one. So just a Topsy Tail. I'll go in and stretch this all out towards the end. Hang on a second. Go. Sorry, dog problems. Okay, so we will start by stretching that out just like that. So that's a Topsy Tail. I sprayed the dry volume burst right in through here, all throughout. That's what it looks like. It's by Kenra. I know, this is what happens when you do lives at your house with a Pomeranian. She's crazy. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add some hair in on either side. And we're just gonna twist it back. And then I'll tie it with another elastic. So essentially we're creating a braid looking thing, but not really a braid, because I want Katie to be able to wear this for a couple of days. And if we were to do a big stretched out braid, it probably wouldn't hold as well when she was sleeping. So I'm gonna create like a faux braid situation, which is exactly what I did in the last post that everybody really wanted to see a tutorial of. So this is exactly kind of what I did with that post. But yeah.
Where'd you get your backdrops from?
What backdrops? So I don't use any backdrops. I don't use any backdrops. Okay, so now I'm going to do kind of like a Topsy Tail, but not really. I'm not gonna flip it through this time. I'm just gonna create like a bubble. So basically this whole technique is creating like different, oh, boo, we lost it. This whole braid is basically a mix of knots, pull throughs, and Topsy Tails. And that's what kind of gives it that like you can't really figure out what's going on, but it just looks like really pretty textured. And yeah, and so my girls with shorter hair, this is perfect for you because, I mean, you don't get as much length with it, but you still get the same overall effect and you don't have to worry about your hair falling out or not being able to get that big braid look because it's tied with elastic, so it's a lot more secure. Okay, so now I'm gonna take these two and I will tie them like I'm almost tying a knot, but then what I'll do is I'll pull them together underneath. I will clip up this portion and just secure that little knot underneath with an elastic. Right underneath here. So Katie, when you're taking this out, just be aware that you have a bunch of elastics and maybe have Joe help you.
Perfect.
But it will last. The good thing with this is it lasts so long because you can sleep on it and we create so much texture in the hair that like when it gets messed up, it almost looks even better because it's meant to look messy. Okay, so as I go, I'll start to bubble everything up a little bit. And then when I finish, I'll go through and really start to stretch things out. So let's go in now and do another Topsy Tail. I'll bring those wispies on the sides in at the end. Isn't that crazy to watch this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so doing a Topsy Tail right here. So again, if you're just joining, this is very similar to the post that I posted most recently from one of the styles I taught at the Bombshell class. This is very similar to what I did. It was just a mixture of Topsy Tails, knots, and like a pull-through situation. And it starts to slowly come together as you work your way down. Okay.
They want to know if this is going to be posted.
Yes, I will post this, and then again, I started a YouTube page. It's not pretty, but my lives all go on there. So if you miss it on here, you can go to my YouTube. It's just Blowhout. And you can watch my lives on there as well. Whoop. Okay, so now I'm going to clip that ponytail just wherever it wants to go with one hand, which is very difficult. No, it doesn't want to go.
Can I help you with anything?
No, you're good. I'm just gonna clip this to the side like as much as possible. Basically, you just want to clip it off enough because you want to be able to secure the elastic. Cory, I love you. What? Is he? I don't think you can see him. Cory, basically now every client that comes over, I force them to go on my live. Because like some of the hairstyles that people want me to do tutorials of, they're not the easiest to do on myself, although I will try. But I've just made all my clients. I'm like, oh, you want extensions? Great, let's do a live with it.
We love you, Ashley.
Okay. Aww. Okay, so we'll keep stretching out a little bit. So as I go, I just continue to like go back and stretch out a little bit more. And so it essentially ends up looking a little bit like a fishtail, but like way cooler because you can't quite figure out how it's done. Okay, so there we go so far. Let's do a few more knots, only because I feel like I don't want this to go down all the way. So I'm just gonna pull from the back now and then tie it in another knot, or essentially like I'm going to tie a knot, and then wrap it around the back and secure with another elastic. Ashley, this is Katie, by the way.
I know, I don't know if she can hear me, but that's okay.
I know, because I'm like, I don't think she realizes it's Katie on here. Okay, so this is just a knot, which is why I love the knotting technique, because it just ends up looking so pretty. So we'll just stretch that out a little bit. And then let's do maybe like a couple more, maybe like one more knot, and then I'll end up tying a scarf. Just because I don't want it to look like too braided all the way down. I would love to keep a little bit of the ponytail. Okay. So one more knot technique. And again, if you are just joining, I had a lot of requests for a tutorial on my latest post. This is exactly what I did. Ashley, I think I saw it in your I think I saw it. You did good. Okay. So we'll stretch this knot out a little bit more. And just we want to stretch it out enough so there's no disconnect in the hair. So it kind of looks seamless all the way down. Okay, so stretching it out. And then I'll come in and tie it with a scarf. And we're gonna go for the polka dots based on what Katie's wearing. So stretch that out. And then, hang on, I gotta add one little pin.
Looks awesome.
Oh, cute.
I'm not fast, sorry.
No. It's cute. So yeah, so Katie basically wanted like some sort of braid that she could sleep in, wear tomorrow. And a lot of times when people want something that they can sleep in, I end up doing a little bit, not so much a braid, but something that looks like a braid that will hold a little bit better. Let me see here, what am I looking at? Okay, so now I'll just take everything and tie it right down at the bottom. I'm gonna pin these front pieces just softly into the braid. If you're just joining, I will save this. Again, it will be on my YouTube page. So I'm just pinning these hairs back and then I'll kind of work them into the braid a little bit. Leaving some wispies out in front for her.
I love it.
So just super cute Topsy Tails and knots kind of the whole way down. This, again, this is very similar to the hairstyle that I taught and just posted at the class yesterday. So I will save this and then it will be up on my YouTube channel. But there you guys go. If you have any other questions, please feel free to DM me. Have a great, what day is it? Tuesday.